Well, good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's session. Firstly, I'd like to thank TDRA for inviting us to share this very special session with you. This is all about developing a growth mindset and an introduction to this vitally important concept. So the first question, or the first set of questions I'd like us to think about are as follows. Do you want to have more fun in life? I think we all do. Do you want to really, truly enjoy learning? Do you want to have better relationships in your personal and your professional life? Do you want to improve your work performance and career? A growth mindset is associated with all of these benefits, plus a lot more. So this is how important growth mindset is. Quick introduction to myself. My name is Catherine Bentley. I'm originally from the UK. My background in the UK was very much in financial services. So I worked with banks and insurance companies in a range of general management and marketing management positions. I actually moved to this region, to the UAE, back in 2005. And my time since I've been in this region has been focused purely on people development. So training, coaching and consulting across a range of industries, a range of organizations, and developing skill sets across the board for high value contributors within these organizations. In terms of our roadmap for the next 1 hour, we're going to be taking a look at what is a growth mindset. So a growth mindset is very much a buzzword, a buzz expression these days, but what actually is it? What does it mean? And then considering why it is so important. What is it about a growth mindset that it makes it important for individuals, for teams, and for organizations? Then pausing to consider where you might be on the scale. So how much of a growth mindset do you have? And we've got a little exercise to invite you to participate in to determine that. We'll then take a look at what the key components are of a growth mindset, particularly in the workplace, and how we can move towards adopting these and putting into place a truly effective growth mindset philosophy. And then time for you to consider really what might be your action plans going forward. So that is that's our roadmap for today. We invite you to be interactive, the chat box is there live. Anytime you want to do, you can pose questions, give comments, give feedback on the chat box, and we will all be monitoring that as we go through so we can respond to you appropriately. So, as with all of our sessions, we really want to focus below the surface and to discover what is within us, within our teams, within our organizations that either enable us or prevent us from adopting this important growth mindset. The first question is really, what is a growth mindset? What does it really mean? And I want to start by stating this. What a mindset is. A mindset generally is the view you adopt of yourself. The view you adopt of yourself, how you actually assess your own qualities, your own capabilities. That's a mindset. So, that's a mindset. Let me ask you all, what do you think then is a growth mindset? How would you define, or what do you understand by a growth mindset? So I invite you to give us your thoughts about what a growth mindset might be on the chat box. Let's have some feedback from you guys. What do you think is a growth mindset? I'll give you a few seconds to consider that and to give us your feedback on the chat box. What is a growth mindset? Any thoughts about what is a growth mindset, what it means to you? Okay, so I'm getting some feedback now. And Nadine is saying opportunities to grow your business and yourself personally, absolutely. More developing your skills and thoughts, yes. Anything else? Anything else that you would say you understand by this phrase, a growth mindset? Not limiting yourself to the current situation. Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Okay, very simply, very simply, a growth mindset is the mindset, the belief that your abilities and characteristics can change. They can change. Whereas a fixed mindset is the thinking that your abilities, characteristics, qualities are set in stone. Yeah, I'm good at this or I'm not good at this and it's not going to change. That's a fixed mindset. Whereas a growth mindset is a belief that you can, if you want to do, develop, change your abilities, characteristics, and truly grow. So that's a general definition of what a growth mindset is. And Tasneem is saying accepting criticism. Absolutely. That's one of the aspects of a growth mindset, that we accept, actually welcome criticism, because it gives us ideas about how we can do things differently and how we can grow. And we'll look at a few more characteristics of a growth mindset further on. Okay, Moza is saying, yeah, that you believe your intelligence and talents can be developed over time. Absolutely spot on, Moza. That's a growth mindset. Really, truly believing in that. So I've got a very short video clip to play for you now. And I think this summarizes the difference between the growth and the fixed mindset. Have a look at this.
Here are two seeds, both planted on the same day, in the same soil, in the same garden bed. One is very curious, full of life, and ready to grow as tall as it can. The other is filled with fear. What if the sun is too strong and burns my leaves once I grow, it thinks. Or what if a beast eats my tender sprouts? No way, not a chance I am leaving my shell. So it remains still and stagnant, rigid in its place. The brave seed feels the heat of the sun above and starts to push hard out of its shell. Sure, it has doubts about reaching the outside world, but its curiosity is stronger than anything. I want to see all the living creatures of this garden, it thinks. I can't wait to feel the morning dewdrops on my leaves. The little seed keeps pushing until a single sprout comes out. It grows and grows through sunny, warm days. It even grows through colder, stormy days, because the brave seed knows that the sun will always return. Throughout life, you will have moments when you feel like either one of these seeds. The way we see the world around us and how we behave towards life is called our mindset. You can choose to have a fixed mindset or to have a growth mindset. When you have a fixed mindset, things can seem too hard. Negative thoughts might cloud your mind and you start to give up easily. I can't do this. You may believe that if you are not good at something, then you never will be. I'm just born this way. The obstacles you face can hold you back, and you begin avoiding challenges. What's the point of trying? Just like the fearful seed. However, you can always choose to have a growth mindset. A growth mindset helps you believe that your goals are within reach with effort and perseverance. Life is a great big adventure. It shows you that failure is a normal part of your journey. The obstacles you encounter will only make you stronger. Challenges and mistakes help me learn. You'll enjoy the challenges you face and become more resilient. I want to become my best self, just like the brave seed. Fear is a natural emotion. We all experience it, and it can make changing your mindset difficult. The important thing is to try. So here are some tips to switch on your growth mindset. Perfection does not exist. Aiming for perfection is like running a race without a finishing line. Trying to achieve it will only exhaust you. When negative thoughts fill your head, you can turn them around by simply adding "yet" at the end. See challenges as adventures. They will make you more resilient and can open new worlds. If you work hard, you will see progress. And don't worry about mistakes. They are a part of life, and we can learn from them. The good news is, the sun always comes out after a storm. By having a growth mindset, you might even find that a little rain won't bother you much at all.
Okay, so we've got quite a graphic image there of the difference between a growth mindset, the seed that was curious and wanted to emerge, a little bit of fear, a little bit of apprehension, but still wanted to develop and burst through, whereas the other seed that wanted to just stay in its comfort zone, stay out of any kind of risk situation. And we can start to think about ourselves in terms of our growth or a fixed mindset. Which one of these seeds are we most like? So we've got a little bit of an exercise now to ask really, where are you now on this scale? Where are you on the continuum? So I invite you to take part in this little mini self-assessment, okay? I'm going to put up onto the screen now a little questionnaire, okay? I'm going to leave you a few minutes to do this, 3 or 4 minutes to do this. I want you to read the statements and circle which of the phrases, the words, most accurately describes you. So, for example, do you believe that, first one, your intelligence is something very basic about you that you can't change very much? If you strongly agree with that, you circle 0. If you sort of agree, 1. If you disagree with that, 2. Or if you strongly disagree, circle 3. Yeah? So I'd like you to do that with all of those statements there. And then we're going to add up the total. So I'll give you just 4 or 5 minutes to do that. And we're going to see really where you are on this growth mindset scale. So I'll start the clock now. If you just want to just note down which of those strongly agree, disagree, agree, or strongly disagree responses applies to your particular stance on these statements, all right? When you've got the numbers, I want you to add up the total. So I'll give you 4 or 5 minutes to do that, and then we'll see where we are on the scale. Okay, let's see where we got to. So you should have a score now. And this is how we might want to interpret this score. If you scored somewhere between 22 and 30, this is indicating that right now you've got a very strong growth mindset. Somewhere between 17 and 21, yet predominantly a growth mindset with some fixed ideas, some ideas or some ways of thinking about things which might be a little bit limiting. If we scored between 11 and 16, this is indicating that predominantly you've got tendencies to a fixed mindset with some elements of growth. And if we're somewhere between 0 and 10, okay, there we're at a very strong fixed mindset. But for all of us, there's still opportunity and space to grow, because that's the essence of having a growth mindset. So that's just a little bit of an indication there. And see some people are giving us the scores there, 20, 24, which is pretty good. Yeah, no massive alarm bells there. But it's something you might just want to consider for yourself. And as we go through the rest of the session now, some of the ways of thinking you may be able to identify with and see where you are particularly strong in terms of characteristics of a growth mindset, or where maybe you've got more of a tendency towards a fixed mindset. So how might this look? How might we be able to think about the difference between a growth and a fixed mindset? So we see major characteristics of a fixed mindset as being somebody who avoids challenges. Somebody who avoids challenges. Somebody who might shy away from doing things that they don't know about. Yeah, don't know about that, therefore I don't really want to get involved in that. An individual who finds it difficult to handle criticism or feedback that might be seen to be less than positive. Somebody with a fixed mindset believes that intelligence and talent is static. Yeah, I've heard it before. I'm not very good at IT, or I'm not very good at technical things, yeah? And doesn't really think that they can develop those things after birth. Somebody with a fixed mindset is not going to be happy doing things, carrying out action without getting approval. Yeah, seeking approval, not wanting to kind of step forward and be proactive necessarily. Somebody with a fixed mindset is very focused on proving themselves, getting approval, and tend to be threatened by the success of others because it may make them feel that they are underachieving in some way. Somebody with a fixed mindset tends to think about effort not being regarded as beneficial or fruitful, and thinks about failure as being limit of ability. I tried that, it didn't work, therefore I can't do that. Yeah, and not taking the line that if at first you don't succeed, you try again. Yeah, and somebody with a fixed mindset tends to be an individual that gives up very easily. It didn't work, I'm giving up. Yeah, that's very much characteristics of a fixed mindset. So let me ask you this question then. What do you think are the main disadvantages? What are the main problems with this fixed mindset? What are the main disadvantages of having a predominantly fixed mindset? If you'd like to give us your feedback, please, on the chat box. And I'm just seeing that we've got feedback here. Tasneem Tasneem had a growth mindset score 24, Nadine 25. Very good scores there. Yeah. So what about fixed mindset? What do you think are the big issues with having, for an individual, of having a fixed mindset? What do you think? I'll give you a couple of minutes to give me your thoughts and the chat box. So Noor is saying less opportunities, absolutely, Nadine. Not exploring new things and becoming outdated, 100%. Falling behind, becoming outdated, and not easily able to engage with the opportunities. Yeah. Yes, Mosa, decreases self-knowledge and self-awareness. Absolutely. All of those things. Very, very valid. So really, it means that we're never really going to achieve our full potential if we are adopting a predominantly fixed mindset. So, dissatisfaction and disappointment, yeah, become very dissatisfied with ourselves, and disappointment as we don't move forward in life as other people are doing. Reduce self-awareness, as you actually said there, Mosa. Tasneem said, yeah, give up easily. We give up easily. Restricting opportunities, 100%. It's really going to narrow down our opportunities personally and professionally if we've got very much a fixed mindset. It's going to mean really that we become very mediocre. We stick to what we know, what we've proven to ourselves we can do, and we become mediocre in life. And it can lead to being quite stagnated. We really miss out on a lot in life. Let me share with you a little story about myself, where I had, on a particular issue, very much a fixed mindset. For many, many years, my husband was trying to encourage me to go skiing. Yeah, alpine downhill skiing. I was completely resistant. I believed this wasn't for me. I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't have the best sense of balance. I really felt that at my levels of confidence, I just wouldn't be able to do it. I would hate it. I would damage myself, and I was totally opposed to it. Eventually, with his constant encouragement and with encouragement from a friend of mine, I decided that I would give it a go. I would try. It was one of the best things I've ever done. Yeah, now it's my passion. It forms, or it did before COVID, our annual holiday every year. I'm never going to be an Olympic skier, but I'm at an intermediate level of skiing. And I think, why did I have such a fixed mindset about this for so many years? I missed out on all those opportunities of enjoying that kind of hobby, sport, pastime, and holiday for so long. Yeah, so opportunities, yeah, missed where we have that fixed mindset. Okay, so growth mindset, that's the other side. And you'll see there where we've got the growth mindset, the world suddenly becomes more colorful. Yeah, we view challenges as opportunities. Yeah, an opportunity to do something rather than a threat. We acknowledge our weaknesses. I don't actually like the word weakness, but we acknowledge areas that we can develop and embrace that. See it as something exciting. We learn how to welcome, give and receive constructive criticism as data. We see this criticism feedback as data as to how we can go forward and improve. And we really believe with the growth mindset that our intelligence, our talent is dynamic and ever improving. We're open to that. In terms of learning, we prioritize learning rather than getting approval and getting praise. We want to learn. And we focus on the process of doing things rather than always the end result. When we see others succeeding, we're inspired by it rather than threatened by it. Yeah, this is brilliant what this person's done, rather than be threatened by it. And just to share with you a little bit of an addition to the story that I gave you about my starting skiing, one of the main inspirations for me starting skiing was a friend of ours who had just started skiing as well, a little bit before me, who's actually 80% blind. And my thought was, wait a minute, if this person can have the courage and the drive to start downhill skiing with a severely limited ability to see, what is wrong with me? Why can't I be inspired by this and go and do this? So being inspired by success and drive of others, a key element of growth mindset. Understanding failure when things don't work out as an opportunity to do things in a different way and to grow. And when we get setbacks, to persist, to become actually more determined to move forwards. That's the growth mindset. And very different, very much more colourful and attractive really, than a fixed mindset. So it's really about the difference here. Yeah, about us thinking, I like learning new things rather than I need to be good at something to enjoy it. It's about pushing through frustrations. We were all going to have frustrations in life when we look at new things, when things don't work out first time, and not giving up. It's about enjoying being challenged. You know, it's bring on the challenge. Hit me with it rather than I want to stay in my comfort zone. It's about learning from mistakes, learning from things that don't work out as we expect, rather than really taking failure badly and actually withdrawing. That's what a fixed mindset is going to do. And as we said, it's about being inspired by others succeeding rather than feeling threatened by them. That's the difference. That is the difference between the two mindsets. So, advantages of fixed mindset, of a growth mindset are many. Yeah. And some of these we've already considered, but it's about appreciating learning, wanting learning, yeah, having a thirst for learning and enjoying the actual learning process. An ability to handle stress and reduce fear of making mistakes. Yeah, where we fear making mistakes, we're going to really be limiting ourselves from doing new things. Yeah, so reducing that fear. You know, what's the worst thing that can happen in a situation? Thinking about that. If we can live with that, let's go on and try this. It's about taking feedback positively. Yeah, successful people, whether they're sports people, you know, whether they're business people, whether they're in drama, in theatre, they want feedback and positively using it. Think about when you go to a restaurant, they want feedback. How can we do things better? How can we keep improving what we offer? Growth mindset is going to improve self-esteem because you know that you can overcome challenges. You know you can do more, always. And it's about improved resilience. Once we break down some of the barriers, the fears of coming out of our comfort zones, we're going to improve our resilience and optimism. We're going to talk a little bit later on about optimism, which is a key thing running through this concept. And it's going to develop stronger relationships. Generally, we like being around people with growth mindsets because they inspire us, because they're positive, and we can take from their energy, so stronger relationships. And definitely in terms of career planning and growth, we're really going to be opening up paths to go along. Yeah, we're not closing down paths, we're opening up paths. So these are the real advantages of a growth mindset. So organizations that have got growth mindset, there's more commitment and engagement from people. Increased collaboration, people want to work together. Yeah, they're inspired by each other. Trust, because it's open, because we're open in our feedback and we're open in sharing experience. So that's about trust. They're using feedback positively and having actually a feedback mechanism working throughout. There isn't a blame culture because they're taking where things don't work out as an opportunity to learn more rather than an opportunity to blame. And they thrive on challenge because, let's be honest, we're all going to face challenge. None of us have got any idea what's around the corner, and the past 18 to 20 months have proved that. But organizations that thrive on challenge have really benefited from what's happened in COVID. And they're going to have improved resilience. So where there's a growth mindset, people are going to be resilient to the challenges and to the stresses and strains that come alongside the challenging environments. There's going to be stronger relationships internally, and there's going to be career growth. And that makes it an attractive organization to work in. So, thinking about this, yeah, we had a look earlier about where you were in terms of the growth mindset continuum and how this goes, how we can move in all aspects from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. I gave you the example of me in my skiing career. I started off saying, I won't do that. I won't do that. Why won't you do it? Because I can't do that. Okay, then I thought about people around me and took some inspiration. I thought, well, maybe I want to try this. I want to do it. How do I do it? And set about arranging skiing lessons and put myself in the environment. And I'm going to try and do this because actually I can see the benefits of doing this. I can see the opportunities. I started to do it after a few falls and a few mishaps. I actually thought, I think if I persist, I can do this. I will do this. Now, I did it. I won't ever be an Olympic skier, but I've got to a certain level where I can enjoy this and it's added to the quality of my life. So when you go, as the quote says here, from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, a whole world of possibilities opens up. And this is what we need to be applying in our personal lives and in our professional lives. Yeah. Not just when we see opportunities that might be attractive, but when we face challenges, particularly in the workplace. We grow not when things are easy, but we grow when we face challenges, and we've got to find a way around those challenges. That's when our growth mindset is really, really challenged. Okay, so that's the picture. Yeah, and I want you to think about that. We're moving from very much a grey, fixed, mediocre mindset and worldview to the world of colour and opportunity when we adopt a growth mindset. And how do we do this? How can we actually practically think about doing this? And what I'd like to offer to you are 5 golden rules to take away and apply yourselves, or you can apply with your colleagues, with your teams, maybe with your families or in your personal lives. So 5 golden rules for developing and instilling a growth mindset. First one is be curious. Be curious, Okay. Just like the bean that we saw, or the seed that we saw planted, that seed, the growth mindset seed, was curious. It wanted to know what was on the surface. If it broke out, through the surface, what is it going to see? It wanted to see and feel the warmth of the sun and the opportunities above ground level. Yeah. Same thing for us. Be curious. Ask questions. Discover the why and what is possible. Albert Einstein, brilliant in terms of the things that he brought, the things that he invented. He said, I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. So think about that. Where are your curiosity levels? Are you locking those? Are you stopping? Are you inhibiting your natural curiosity? Let it break free. Ask, investigate. Yeah. What is there? Yeah. What are other options for me? What are other possibilities, opportunities for me to move forwards? Golden rule number 2. Okay. View failure not as a dead end, but as an opportunity to learn. Yeah. An opportunity to learn and to do things differently. Yeah. Where things don't work out, that's not the end. As Henry Ford said, failure is simply the opportunity to start again, this time more intelligently, or this time in a different way. Yeah. It's about something doesn't work. Okay. So we rule that out and we try things in a different way. In a different way. An example of this, Michael Jordan, so very, very successful sports person, said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. Missed more than 9,000 shots. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and I've missed. I've failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. So what he's done is he's taken those times when it hasn't worked, he said, that's going to increase my commitment, my determination to get it right next time. Yeah? To not miss the shot next time. To take that winning shot. And guess what? He's gone on and done it and succeeded. That's the growth mindset. That's very, very visible in a sports scenario, but we can apply that to lots and lots of other scenarios. You may have seen the video of when the guys did the first flight, the first time an actual aircraft, albeit a makeshift one, took off from Earth. Yeah, they failed several times. And they went back and looked at why they failed. How could they recreate this very, very kind of basic contraption to make sure it did take flight the next time? And there are many, many more examples of this. If these guys had given up, we might never be able to take flights now. Yeah, we might never be able to fly to our home countries or fly off on vacation. So view failure as an opportunity to learn. Rule number 3 is be optimistic. Be optimistic. Winston Churchill said, a pessimist finds a problem in every opportunity. They find the reasons why it might not work. It might not work, so I'm not going to do that. Whereas an optimist sees the opportunity in every problem. Optimist sees the opportunity in every problem. And it's important that we think about this. Optimism is critically important for all of us in moving through life, in seizing opportunities. We've got to think about this. Anybody like to give us their definition of optimism? How would you define optimism? I'll give you a couple of seconds maybe to give me your feedback on the chat box. What is optimism? Yes, Nadine is saying having a positive mind. Yes, it is. Yeah. Anything else about optimism? What optimism is not is saying everything's okay, because at times things may not be okay. Yeah, things may not be working out. Tasneem is saying, seeing the good side, opportunities in every matter. That's right, Tasneem, that's right. It's the ability to see beyond the clouds, because always the clouds will clear and the sun will come out. It's the ability to see that and to see beyond the current difficulties into how we can make a situation better or take an opportunity. So have a look at this. Yeah, I didn't get the promotion, or I didn't get the deal. I won't get another chance, and it will ruin my career. And there isn't anything I can do about it. This is clearly not evidence of optimism. It is the complete reverse. Yeah, the complete reverse. No, accepting failure and trying again. Yes, that's right. This kind of these statements here are not accepting what's happening because you're not willing to try again. That's it, finished. I'm not going to do anything about this. I'm powerless. It hasn't worked. It's going to ruin my whole career. Basically, it's over. And when we're looking at optimism and how we change this to pessimism, we can look at it in different ways. We can view things as being temporary. We can view things as being permanent. We can view things as being isolated or pervasive. And we can view things as being where we've got power or we don't have any power at all. So I lost the contract or the promotion and I'm never going to get promoted. We can say, I lost the contract, but it's just one contract or it's just one promotion. We can say, this is going to ruin my career, or we can say, it's an isolated instance. It's just one instance. We can say, I'm powerless. I can't do anything about it. Or we can say, I will now learn from this and make sure that I get the next promotion or we win the next contract. So it's the ability of seeing things in a different way, looking beyond the clouds. So, golden rule. Now I've got something here. Right, so are we saying, Bruce Lee said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Yeah. Despite not seeing any failure in your attempts, there's always an opportunity, yeah? And an opportunity for betterment mastery. Absolutely right. Absolutely correct. So, golden rule number 4 is about believing in yourself. Because you know what? If you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe in you. Nobody's going to believe in you. It's about taking away I can't to I can, I will, watch me. And then golden rule number 5, using the power of yet. Yeah. So I could have said many years ago, I can't ski yet. By adding that word yet onto the sentence, I'm saying, not yet, but in the future. It hasn't been done up to now. But what I'm saying is there's scope for me, there's opportunity to do that in the future. And where we add this word yet, it's extremely powerful. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. We open up, and we encourage ourselves and others to think that I am really very, very keen on looking at this in the future. So the power of yet. So they are really the 5 golden rules in terms of how we apply a growth mindset. And if we think about the experience of the past year, 18 months, so many people have had to demonstrate this growth mindset, We've had to think out of the box. We've had to do things in a different way. We've had to introduce what is commonly known as an infinite mindset. Infinite mindset. And this is all about opening up possibilities. A fixed mindset, it's fixed. It doesn't go any further. An infinite mindset opens up, it breaks down barriers. And I'd like to share with you a little video clip, Simon Sinek addressing his team online in COVID times about how they all needed to open up and really think about an infinite mindset as a way of moving forward. So have a look at this.
I just did a podcast interview with some folks in Australia, and they were pushing me very hard to try and explain how the infinite mindset helps in times like these. And I had a thought on that call that I wanted to share with everybody, which is these are not unprecedented times. There are many cases, lists of cases, where change or something unexpected has put many companies out of business and made other companies come out stronger and reinvent themselves. The invention of the internet put many, many companies out of business, the ones who could not reinvent their companies for the internet age, but rather doubled down on the old way they did business. Every video store is out of business because of streaming, and they couldn't reinvent themselves. When Starbucks moved into neighborhoods, many, many companies went out of business. Many coffee shops went out of business, not because of Starbucks, but because they refused to change the way they did business. They still had an old ripped up couch when you had a better product. Uber is putting taxi companies out of business, not because of Uber, it's because the taxis refuse to change. This is not unprecedented. The fact that something new and this more sudden, absolutely. More shocking, absolutely. Without a doubt. But this is not unprecedented in the business world. And so for us to say, not how do we do what we're doing, but rather, how will we do what we're doing in a different world?
And that really is it. This is the infinite mindset. This is how using a growth mindset has enabled so many organizations and people to come out of these kind of difficult, challenging times that we've seen in COVID. And this is the essence, really. We call it an infinite mindset, growth mindset, same thing. Not how will we do what we do, but what other things can we do? So, key takeaways from today. I realize that we need to draw things to a close now. Key takeaways from this session I'd like to suggest. A mindset is the view that you adopt of yourself. Fixed mindset is going to set limits in terms of your self-expectation and belief. It's going to limit. Whereas a growth mindset is the belief that our abilities can change and development is always possible. A growth mindset is going to impact your success, your health, happiness, careers, relationships, just about every part of your life. And we're all a mixture of the two different types of mindset, depending on the circumstances on our stage. So it's about understanding where we are and managing this. Growth mindset can be learned if we want to learn it. And the 5 golden rules. Be curious. Yeah, curiosity might have killed the cat, as the saying goes, but doesn't kill the human being. Yeah? Embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Something didn't work, we learn from it. Be optimistic. There's always the sun after the storm. Yeah, believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself for anybody else to believe in you, and use the power of yet. I haven't done this yet. I'm not able to do this yet. So, things that you might want to take away in terms of your own development, up to you, how you commit to action. From today, you might be able to identify things that you maybe want to do less of, things that you might want to start doing. You might want to start using yet. Yeah, things that maybe you want to stop doing. You might want to stop limiting yourself in terms of thinking about your abilities, or things that maybe you're already doing in terms of growth mindset you want to continue doing. Okay, so I believe that we're coming to time. I'd like to ask if you've got any questions at all, any questions for me on the session today or on growth mindset. Any questions? Any questions at all? I'm very happy to answer. Any questions from anybody? Okay, so Nadine is asking the question, how can we promote the benefits of a growth mindset in our teams? I think this is very much about really explaining the differences between the approach. We showed you the image of the grey side, in terms of the brain image, where we're closing things down by the way we're thinking and we're limiting opportunities, compared to where we open up the colourful world of opportunity. Using examples of individuals in sports, in business, in other aspects of life, where they've actually really clearly shown all the characteristics of a growth mindset and how it's enabled them to go on and invent new things, develop new ways of doing things, and succeed. So I think it's really about encouraging people, having open conversations, creating an environment where people are not fearful of making mistakes. It's okay to make a mistake if we learn from it. Yeah, if we learn from mistakes, creating that kind of openness where people feel that they're able to offer the suggestions or ideas, that they're not going to be in any way blamed for things going wrong, but encouraged to learn from where things don't work out as planned. It's about creating that environment, and an environment where curiosity is encouraged as well. Any other questions? Any other questions at all? Okay, all right, guys. So that brings us to the end of this session. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for your participation. Any questions? I thank TDRA again for allowing us to share this vitally important session on a very, very popular concept. And I wish everybody the best of luck in developing their growth mindset. Thank you, guys.